Do you need coding for cybersecurity? I used to say it depends on the role. My answer's changed, and if you're thinking about learning to code, you need to hear this immediately. I'll show you why coding is becoming obsolete, what you need to learn instead, and the exact tools that are replacing it right now. I'm Nathan from StationX. After 30 years in cybersecurity and helping over 500,000 people into the field, I've held this "it depends" position for years. The fact that I've changed my answer should tell you something. For years, if you ask me whether you need to code for cybersecurity, I'd say it depends. It depends on the role that you're going to go into. And that was fair. Some roles needed scripting. Penetration testers wrote Python exploits. Security engineers automated with Bash. That was real. But most roles, GRC, management, audit, compliance, most of us never touch code day to day. So it depends was the right answer. It was also correct, past tense. But something fundamental has changed in the last year or so, and it changes the answer for every single role. So what changed? Let me give you the big picture. Coding is deterministic. You give it the same input, you get the same output. That then can be determined as a correct answer. And deterministic domains are the ones AI will master first and the most completely. I think we're not far from AI writing code that's perfect, near perfect most of the time. Let's say 90% there. This isn't theoretical. Let me give you actual evidence that's happened already. Anthropic, Claude, their LLMs, leading AI models, found over 500 previously unknown zero-day vulnerabilities during testing. Not known bugs, new ones nobody had found yet. Now, that's not a coding assistant, that's an autonomous vulnerability researcher. A University of Illinois study found that GPT-4 could exploit 87% of known vulnerabilities when given their CVE descriptions. Both OpenAI and Anthropic have had to deploy safeguards on their models because they became too capable at offensive security tasks. So they're worried. They're worried about what the criminals are going to do with them. So think about that for a second. The models aren't just writing code, they're finding vulnerabilities humans missed and exploiting them autonomously. The evidence isn't theoretical, it's operational. Therefore, coding as a human skill is losing its value fast. But it's actually worse than that, because some roles aren't just changing in cybersecurity and in everything, they're disappearing entirely. If you're finding this helpful, by the way, hit the like and subscribe because it helps more people find this content. Let's talk about what's already happening. CrowdStrike, they cut 500 jobs in May 2025. Their CEO, George Kurtz, explicitly cited AI. His exact words were that AI flattened our hiring curve. And those aren't random roles. They were the tasks that followed scripts and playbooks. We're talking SOC, level 1 monitoring, basic vulnerability scanning, routine log analysis. One senior analyst with AI tools now does what a team of 5 used to do. That's not a prediction, that's their hiring strategy. The floor is rising, entry-level security isn't disappearing, but what entry-level means is changing. Fewer people, higher capability, AI-powered. But this doesn't mean cybersecurity jobs are going away. The industry is growing, evolving, changing, augmenting. What's changing is the job itself. Therefore, you need a different skill. And this is the part I really want you to understand, because it's the biggest shift. There's a massive difference between writing code and creating solutions. We still need solutions, okay? So writing code means translating your idea into a language a computer understands. Yeah, you learn the syntax, you memorize the functions, you type it out line by line. That's the skill. That's the skill of coding. That's the skill that is becoming obsolete. Creating solutions, though, means knowing what needs to exist, why it needs to exist, and using AI to make it happen. That's the new skill. And this is why it matters. AI can already write reasonable code. And to be honest, it'll probably be writing very good code very soon. But AI can't guess what is in your head. It doesn't understand your organization's strategy, your strategy. It doesn't know your network environment. It doesn't know why you need a particular detection rule in this particular order for this particular threat. It is not a mind read. It doesn't know the requirements or the environment. That's the human part. And it's not going away. If anything, it's becoming more valuable. So let me show you what this looks like across roles. A penetration tester isn't manually writing exploit scripts anymore. They're creating AI agents that chain tools and techniques at scale. A SOC analyst isn't writing correlation rules by hand. They're creating AI systems that triage alerts, correlate signals, and respond automatically, or at least they should be or will be very soon. GRC, blue team, auditors, incident response, every role is moving the same direction. You don't write the code, you create solutions. Therefore, the question isn't, should I learn Python? The question is, what do I actually need to know? And that shift from writing code to creating solutions changes the whole career path. If you want help mapping that out, I've got a free book and course on how to get into cybersecurity. It's completely free. Check out the link in the description. So, if not coding syntax, what do you actually learn? Principles. Not syntax, principles. Let me break that down. So, first, you need to understand things like APIs, not how to code on, how to connect systems. When you're creating an AI security workflow, you're connecting tools together. You need to know what API is, what it does, how it works, and when to call them. Second, requirements gathering. This one sounds boring, but it's everything. AI can't read your mind. The better you describe what you need precisely, specifically, the better the output. This is the skill that separates people who get mediocre AI results from people who get exceptional ones. Third, testing and validation. You can't supervise what you don't understand. When AI creates a detection rule or a scanning script, you need to know whether it actually works, not how to write it, but how to validate it. And notice, none of those require you to write a single line of code. These are thinking skills, not typing skills. Can you see where it's going, where it is evolving? Fourth, system design, how things connect across complex environments. how data flows, where the dependencies are. Are you meeting the tactical, operational, strategic requirements of the business and of your security needs? Fifth, AI agents, they need development. They need context engineering, prompt design, tool chaining. This is the new technical skill replacing coding. And how do I know this? Because I have built it. I built an entire AI infrastructure for my business that we call HAL. I can describe a complete SOC monitoring environment in plain text and have it built in minutes. I can spin up security scanning across our domains, automate threat detection workflows, manage incident response pipelines, all by telling AI what I need through what's been developed and context engineering to make sure that it doesn't make mistakes. 95% of it was built by AI, but I had to know what to ask for, how to test it, make sure there wasn't vulnerabilities and bugs in it, and how to piece and fit things together. That's the job. Therefore, you need to understand the principles, but you also need the right tools to actually create with. So here's what the actual workflow looks like now. You don't open a text editor and start typing Python. You open an AI coding agent and describe what you need in plain text. The number one tool right now is Claude Code. It's a terminal agent. You tell it what you need. It reads your code base, writes the code, tests it, runs commands, manages your Git. This is how I built an entire AI system, an AI infrastructure that manages 80% of company workflows. Cursor is another tool that may interest you, an IDE. It's an AI native code editor. You write alongside AI in real time. It understands your whole project and suggests changes across multiple files. And the category is exploding. There is Codex CLI, Gemini CLI, there's Windsurf. New ones are launching every month. And if you're wondering how to keep track of all this, I put together an AI and automation tool landscape. It covers over 270 tools across AI coding agents, automation, platforms, agent frameworks, cybersecurity. It's a free download. Check the link in the description. But this is a key part. You don't configure things anymore. You don't drag boxes around a workflow builder. You talk to AI, you describe the problem. AI creates a solution, you validate it, and you direct it. Let me give you a concrete example. I need a script that checks SSL certificates across 50 domains and alerts me if any expire within 30 days. I describe that in a few sentences. AI writes it, I check the logic, done. That used to take an afternoon of Python. Now it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, really depends on your experience at using the AI and how much context you've already created for your environment that the AI can understand. The real skill, context engineering, giving AI the right context. So your environment, your requirements, your constraints, that's what makes the output good. You can't just rely on the LLM knowing what to do all the time and being perfect. It's also not a mind reader. It doesn't know your environment. It doesn't know your context. That's context engineering. So therefore, you have the tools, and this isn't optional if you want to be in cybersecurity and for probably most tech roles really. And I want to be direct about this. Attackers are already using AI. Obviously, of course they are. Every major threat group is using AI assisted tooling. Therefore, defenders must use AI. Pen testers must use AI. There is absolutely no choice here at all. If you're spending 3 months learning Python syntax right now, you're solving yesterday's problem. The syntax isn't the bottleneck anymore. The thinking is. Okay? The skill isn't coding, it's knowing what to create, how to get the AI to create it. That's the job now. Every cybersecurity role, no exceptions. The people who master the fundamentals and learn to work with AI will design the systems everyone else uses. That's where the career is. That's where the money is. And that window is open right now. So you don't need to code, but you do still need to get hired. I've got a 7-step framework that's helped thousands of complete beginners land cybersecurity jobs fast. Watch that next.